Okay, let's talk about this. If anyone claims I am living in the light, but hates a fellow believer. This is 1 John chapter 2, verse 9. If anyone claims I am living in the light, but hates a fellow believer, that person is still living in darkness. Anyone who loves a fellow believer is living in the light and does not cause others to stumble. But anyone who hates a fellow believer is still living and walking in darkness. Such a person does not know the way to go, having been blinded by the darkness. So what's going on here is that we've got some people who are claiming that they live in the light. But they're hating their fellow believers here because they're not sharing this information about how you've been taught wrong about all kinds of things. First it was, no one can know, right? Whenever he's coming. We're not supposed to be watching or anything, right? Well, Amos 3:7 says that's a lie. Then it was, well, the rapture's a guarantee, which is part of my salvation. It's like a little bonus. Well, that's not right either. We got the whole crown business going on there with the Philadelphia Church that says it can be taken away. So that's a lie. And now we're dealing with this whole once saved, always saved. I don't have to do anything because I'm always going to keep my salvation because I can act however I want to because of Jesus' sacrifice on the cross, right? Well, that's not true either. You are saved so that you don't have to sin against God, because then you can have the Holy Spirit indwell you. That does not give you a license to sin, and it also doesn't give you a license to hate. You are hating your fellow believers, and you're causing them to stumble. We're going to read that one next. Anyone who loves a fellow believer is living in the light and does not cause others to stumble. Well, the seminaries and the pastors and the teachers and the preachers and evangelists and all of those, fivefold ministry people have been causing you to stumble into this belief that your salvation is just, it's just fine if you want to keep sinning. It's all right. You're still going to heaven, right? There's no place called outer darkness where there's weeping and gnashing of teeth, where you're going to be over there with the hypocrites, right? You're just going to heaven. He's just going to take anybody who says, yes, Lord, I follow you, and then I'll live however I want to, right? Well, this says no. And this says that you guys up here who claim that you're living in the light, but you're hating your fellow believer and causing them to stumble by not sharing this information, he's got something against you too now, doesn't he? Remember, he has nothing against the Church of Philadelphia. But anyone who hates a fellow believer is still living and walking in darkness. If you don't tell them this, guys, you're hating them. Wouldn't you want someone to tell you this information? Especially if your rapture ticket depends on it. And then for some of you, even your heaven ticket is going to depend on it. All right, such a person does not know the way to go, having been blinded by darkness. So he saved you, tried to make you a person of the light, but because you hate your fellow believers and you have no love, you're going to be in darkness. So, is that pretty clear with everybody? You better get on it, church. Because listen, I'm getting a little nudge here about this. How long was Noah's Ark waiting before it started to rain? How long? 7 days, right? Maybe we only have 7 days to get this thing cleared up. And then this ark is leaving. And if there's only 8 little people on it, or only the prophets and their little families, then I guess we'll just see you later in the 6th seal rapture. Because you need to get on it, or else you're hating your fellow servant. You have no love. You're not part of the light. And you're walking in darkness. Now, there's no excuse for this. Get on it. Get out the message. Get through these false teachings so that we can get on with the party in heaven.